pleasure, an honor for me to be here. You guys, some of which have tremendously close friends in the audience here. So it always means a lot for me to come back here. I've got players here in this room that I recruited, guys that I've coached with over the years, guys that I've played with. It's unbelievable to come back to the Northeast. So it's a big deal for me to be here. Tonight, I want to get into football quickly. The topic that Bobby wanted to talk about was installing a NFL offense at the high school level. And what that meant to me was very simple. One thing that I learned in the NFL over a 4-year period that I was there was the game is practiced totally in situations. As I watch many high school practices over the years, one thing that I sometimes am amazed at is that when you go to a high school practice or even college practice, I'm not being critical of anybody here, I see the ball placed on about the 30-yard line, and there is a freaking worn-out piece of grass right in that one spot. And plays are just run there over and over again. It looks like there's a hole being dug. All right? And one thing that you learn, that I learned, I think we all know, this is nothing that none of us in here is going to be any dramatic revelation, is that it is a game of situations. It's a game of situations. It's a game of situations that have to be practiced and rehearsed before you get the kids on the side and say, hey, this is what's happening. Here, let's get together and draw this play, because this is what's going to happen. You can't do it that way. You can't do it. I've seen it attempted, and I've attempted it. Unless that situation is practiced the right way, you're going to struggle to get that done. So that's the one thing that I learned in the NFL. Every day is specific situations. You game plan those situations day by day, period by period. It's installed that way with the players, and the players have it ingrained in their head. On this day we do this, on this day we do that, on that day we do this, in this meeting this is covered, and it's ingrained in those guys. And you know what? When they go from one team to the next, it's all the same. There's no changes. It's all the same. There's one schedule. So there's some good to that. But I'm going to try to give you a list of the situations that I suggest you should think about practicing, and B, some that I never even thought of, that we actually ran in games this year that ended up winning games for us. Okay? Actually did it in games this year. Never even practiced it in my life. We practiced it every freaking Saturday morning. And wouldn't you know, we show up in the Meadowlands and beat the Jets, and the situation comes up in that game that we hadn't run in 3 years, but practiced it every freaking Saturday. All right? So there's some I think value in paying attention here. Okay? So the two things are going to be a list of situations that I think you should practice, and B, what specific days during your game week should these plays be practiced on, if I'm making any sense. Okay? So let's take a quick look at this. I want to get this in. Now I have a film. If someone can run this projector, Bobby Valley can come back here at the end. I have some situations on film from the Dolphins last year. Okay, with that said, let's get started. I forgot to bet my son Marcus here too. So you talk about knowing everybody in the room. My son Marcus is a GA at Temple. So you talk about knowing people. But anyhow, this is what I'm trying to get done here today. An offensive game plan checklist is a game of situations formula. You need to make a list of the situations that have to be covered and then insert them into a specific day in your weekly game plan schedule. So the first item is make a list. Make a list of situations. I talked to somebody today in Jersey who was in high school recruiting, and I'll tell you another thing that Tony Sperano did, Coach Parcells. Here's one thing that they would do, and I want you to, it's not in this lecture, but I just remembered it because I mentioned it to a coach today. Just listen to this for a second. We're in double sessions, right, in July. Just before teamwork, at the end of practice, Coach Sperano would blow the whistle, we all would come up, and he would talk about a specific situation. And he would do it every single double session. So now, when you think about it, we're in double sessions for like 5 weeks. You realize how many situations we practice? One a practice every double session. Okay? That's a good way to do it, so we don't have to do it all at once. I got a couple other things I want to suggest to you. I'll throw one out. Take a safety. Take a safety. So, first day of practice, preseason camp, right before teamwork, he blows the whistle, we all come up, and he says, all right, men, this situation is going to come up during the game. We're going to do it one of two ways. We're going to do it either with the punt team or we're going to do it with the offense. We already had the meeting on it inside. So we went out, and we had the freaking punt team come out against the defense. They worked on it. We snapped the ball, punter ran on the end zone. Blows the whistle. The offense comes out. Lines up, boom, 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 whatever formation you're in. Quarterback takes the ball, runs to the end line, holds the ball, till the defensive guy comes. Now there's guys on defense, so we're doing it live. Boom, he steps out of bounds. That's rehearsal. Every single practice before we went to the last period, okay, we did one situation. But I digress. Let's move on here. Now, here's my point to you. These situations must be covered in meetings, just like you're installing the PowerPoint. These situations have to be covered in meeting. At UConn just now, we covered them in spring practice. We're going to cover them again in preseason. And here's one thing that I want to throw out to you, and some of you have heard me talk about this prior to. It can be practiced in scrimmages with the cooperation of another coach that you're scrimmaging with, and you do all the situation. Here's what I mean by that. And some of you know this because there's some guys in here that are good friends of mine. We talk about this all the time. But here's what I would do if I was a high school coach today. If I'm having a scrimmage, my first scrimmage against Chris Olsen over here, Wayne Hills, and I'm good friends with Chris, so I say to Chris, look, here's what I want to do. I want to have 6 plays on the goal line. I want to have 6 with the ones, 6 with the twos, 6 with the maybe. Let's not go 6. Let's go 4 with the ones, 4 with the twos, 4 with the threes, 12 plays. You go on defense, then we'll switch. Now right after that, Chris, let's do 2-minute drill. You go on defense, we'll do a 2-minute, I'll give you a situation, and we'll do it on offense, do it on defense. Then Chris, let's do a series of third downs. Here's the third down to 3, third down to 4, third down to 5. We'll go 3 on offense, 3 on defense. Here's third down to 6. Chris says to me, that's a great idea, but you know what? My offensive line's a little shaky right now. Let's just hold off on the pressure. Why don't we script it? Then we go, okay, what about this? Last play of the game. Ball's on the 30-yard line. I got to throw it in the end zone to win the game. Can we practice that? You go on defense, we'll go on offense. Then we'll switch it. My point to you is, I would scrimmage that way. I wouldn't put the ball in the middle field, just run plays. You got to practice this. This is what's going to win the game for you. I would do this in my first scrimmage, the second scrimmage, and have a game scrimmage on the third. I wouldn't even practice. I would use it like a college practice. Some of you don't have enough people to do this. Well, do it against your buddy in a scrimmage. So now you're practicing like a college. You got it? Think about it. I'm not telling you to do it. You think about it. Okay? So, that's that. I just said this. Over the years, I've seen too many practices where the ball is placed in one spot for 3 hours. That grass is dug up. Now we got some turf, but that turf is worn out. Okay? So I want you to be aware not to do that, because the game's not played in one spot, man. Just not. All right, next. Here's what I want to talk about. You got your list, right? I think I'm going to talk today about, I think there's 28 or 29 situations. You have your list. And on that list, okay, say you have 30. Let's make it 30. And in college, you have a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday. So you got 5 days divided by 30. That means you got 6 situations that have to come up at some point, minimum, in your practice that week. So you got to think of it that way. Now, if you're like the pro teams where you've got 50 double days or 30 double days, whatever the hell it was, you can do one situation a day like we did. But somewhere along the line, you got to figure out how you're going to practice these situations during a game week. So here's what we did. First situation, goal line. Okay? On goal line, on Monday, we would practice the goal line. We game plan it on Sunday. Easiest thing to game plan. Why? Because the goal line defenses don't change much. They're in a 6-2 in the NFL. They're a 6-2 goal line. They're a 5-3 goal line. They may be a 6-2 gaps. Sometimes they're a 80 defense, like a right tackle 6, Virginia Tech style 8 in the front. So it's pretty standard. So we're going to have 3 runs and 2 passes every week. In the NFL, guys, we practice this on Friday. I was in charge of goal line and short yardage. Friday, we had 5 plays, 3 passes, and 3 runs and 2 passes, period. Shit, at Syracuse, I had 20 plays. But you had 5. Why? Because we may go games where you're never on the goal line. You can't do that with too many plays. There's one thing I learned. You're not going to be on goal line 20 times in a game. As you break down film, you may not even see the team on the goal line. So my point is, we limited it to 3 runs and 2 passes. That was our goal line offense for that week. Now we had a menu of about 10 plays that we could draw from, different formations, but we only scripted 3 runs and 2 passes. Our grouping was 3 tight ends and 2 backs, or 2 tight ends and 3 backs. We had a 10-play, 10-minute period. 5 plays were practiced twice. We had those 5 plays, we practiced them twice. Period. Now, at Syracuse, when I was there, we had 2 huddles. Okay? 1 scout team. So, the first team would go out there, break the huddle, run the play. When that ball was snapped, the next quarterback called the play in the huddle. The next thing that happened was, boom, they broke the huddle, ran a play. We'd get 20 plays in 10 minutes. You can't practice pro players like that. You can't do it. They won't practice that way. But I'm just telling you, we had freaking 20 plays in 10 minutes. Now, in the Dolphins, we had 10 plays. It was done by plays, not time. You had 10 plays, your 10 plays were done and believe me, the head coach will tell him, you screw up one of those plays, you ain't getting a repeat. There ain't no repeats. So that was it, 10 plays. We did it on Monday. Okay, now, the next thing we did, short yardage. Same deal. In the NFL, short yardage is 3rd down and 1. Period. It ain't 3rd down and 2. It's 3rd down and 1. You make 1 yard in that league, short yardage, you're doing something. Okay, you're doing something. 3rd and 1. It's not 3rd and 2. Okay? So what we would do here is we'd have 10 plays, same deal, practice twice. And again, I'm telling you guys, we would go through 1 or 2 games where we did not even get a short yardage play. That's why don't have on your game plan sheet that you're calling plays, don't have 7 or 8 short yardage plays. They're not going to come up. Okay? Same concept. That was 10 plays. All right, next. Let's talk about back to the wall. Another situation's got to be practiced. What do you call, or more importantly, what's your philosophy with your football team with the ball on the -1 yard line? Okay, what do you talk to your team about? Okay, what you talk to your team about is these things. Number 1, ball security. That means that the quarterback center exchange. I talked to high school, I talked to so many coaches, I know who the hell I talked to today. Somebody fumbled the ball on the 1 yard line. It was a nothing game. They fumbled the ball on the 1. The team gets the fumble. Next play they scored. It was the game 7-9. Somebody I talked to today had that issue. You cannot fumble the ball. So we tell our quarterback at Syracuse, we tell the quarterback, first thing he did, he went in the huddle, he didn't say the formation, the snap count. He talked to the huddle, he said, ball security. First word out of his mouth, ball security. Okay, now, I'll tell you a story about Coach Parcells. He tells his story. He will never toss the ball. This is what's drummed into our head. You never toss the ball back to the wall. Never. Okay? So here's the story. They draft Drew Bledsoe up in New England, and they go through this whole rigmarole in the meeting, and Coach Parcells, I'm sure in his own little polite way, is very quiet and calm and telling the quarterbacks, you do not toss the ball ever on backed up. Ever. So you got it? Yeah, I got it. Okay, so they go out to practice, and they're having this back-to-the-wall session in practice, and he's on the sideline, and he's got the offense out there and the defense out there. The defense is trying to stop him, and he sends in the toss sweep. Now here's Bledsoe, who's a rookie. He sends the play in. Now think about who you are. Now, tell me what you would do if you were Bledsoe. So here comes a rookie. The play gets called in, and it's a toss sweep. So Bledsoe calls the toss sweep. Well, understand there was a rush. He went screaming and yelling and running on the field and screaming at the kid, throw him off the field. You never toss the ball back to the wall. Right? He made a point. He did it intentionally to make a point to the team. You never toss the ball. You need quick, direct plays. You cannot lose yardage. Okay? Quarterback seat has got to be one of them. All right, now, the thing that we do is this. We have 3 goals. Number 1, ball security. Number 2, get the ball to the 5-yard line so you can put your spread punt in the game. And number 3, make 1 first down. I'm going to tell you another story about back to the wall. We're at Syracuse. I think Coach McGovern is probably speaking now. We're playing Boston College. Okay? We win the game, we go to the Fiesta Bowl. They go to the game, they go to the Fiesta Bowl. You're ahead in the fourth quarter by 3. They punt the ball around the -1 yard line. You run a quarterback sneak to the 2. You run a belly to around the 4. We run a navy pass to about the 11. We make 1 first down. We drive 99 yards in the fourth quarter and go to the Fiesta Bowl in the game. So that's been an impression on my life in my coaching. How important it is to coach this son of a gun up. We didn't make that 1 first down. We ain't going to one of the biggest games in the school's history. That's how important it is. That's how important it is. So, understand that. What we practice, and here's the way we practice it, we have 3 plays. A quarterback sneak at a -1, a tight fullback belly at a -2, and some kind of, Bobby Bowden used to say, you got the longest thirds on the field right at a -1. So he sometimes would take a shot at a deep ball. I would, provided you had tremendous, tremendous protection. So we'd have a naked or a simple pass we thought we could complete on 3rd down. We practice it with the first, we practice it with the seconds, 6 plays, you're done. You're done. Okay, you got that? So that's goal line, short yardage, back to the wall. Those are our thoughts. Monday, continued. Here's another situation. Another situation that is a situation that will win or lose a game for you. Win or lose a game for you. And that is 4-minute offense. You know the story. You're up by 7. You've got the ball. They may have momentum, but you got the ball. They don't have any timeouts left. All you've got to do is make 1 first down, and then you can kneel down. You all got that chart, right? How many plays it takes to kneel down. You're in that situation. All you got to do is make 1 first down. Okay? So, 4-minute offense. You got 6 plays. Here's what we used to say. You either run to win or pass to win. What does that mean? If you're up by 10, it don't matter. Run to win. Just run the ball. Make 1 first down and break their will. Bergen Catholic against Don Bosco. You may have saw that game. They needed a 4th and 1. They made it. Scored a touchdown. 4th quarter. 4-minute offense. Okay? Run to win. Now, maybe it's a tie game. You got to maybe throw a pass, throw a naked. But you've got to make a first down. The players have got to understand the defense that you'll see. And that's one of the situations, guys, I'm telling you, we did it this spring, we do it every spring. We tell the defensive coaches, you've got to stop. 1 first down, they win. We tell the offensive coaches, we got to make 1 first down and we sit on the ball. What are you going to call? Your players got to be put in that situation. Guys, again, go back to what I said at the beginning. That can be done in that 2-a-day practice right before you go to teamwork. Right? Do it right there. 6 plays. 4-minute offense. Understand the defense is going to blitz. They're going to take chances because if they give up 1 first down, let alone a touchdown, who cares? They give up 1 first down, the game's over. So they're going to come with 11 up. Right? Who cares? So you've got to understand that and have plays designed to handle edge pressure, all that kind of stuff. I'm really big on this. I'm going to say this with utmost respect, and the utmost respect is I see great high school coaching as I watch all this high school film and recruiting. and I see great coaches in this room who know what the hell they're doing. But here's my take on your game. College football is different than pro football. High school football is different than college football. Here's what I see. I see very well-coached coverage, but I don't see multiple coverages. I see a really good cover 2. I really see a really good man coverage. I see good cover 3. I see all that stuff. What I don't see is sophisticated double coverages, in and outs, rob guys screwing down with zone blitz coverages into the middle third, and guys in curl zones dropping back. I don't see it. But here's what I do see. When high school teams that I see have to stop a pass offense, they blitz. It comes down to, can you protect the passer? Can you get the ball? They're not going to beat you with coverage. I don't see it that way. What they're going to do is they're going to test your metal and see if you can protect the passer. So, with that said, every Monday, we're going to have 12 blitz plays. Their favorite blitzes against our protections. Every freaking Monday. The best blitzes they got drawn up against our protection. Now, that may force the quarterback to throw hot. It may, well, how are you going to handle 4 off the side? Do you throw hot? Do you block it up? Do you scan the backs to double key and bring them over there? How do you handle it? That's up to you. But I know one thing. You've got to be able to handle pressure. You check to a 3-set. I don't know. But I'm telling you, on Mondays, we're going to have a blitz period every freaking Monday against their blitzes. And the last thing we do on Monday, and this is why I'm a big believer in breaking down opponent film in the offseason. You have an idea. If I got one of those teams in my league that I got to win, like I like to call them job savers. Job savers. Okay? You're at Ole Miss, you better beat Mississippi State. Fans are going to be unhappy. Fans will be unhappy if you lose that game. Okay? So, my thing has always been, if that's the case, you better know that freaking team inside and out. And you better have an idea of what your offense is. You break down your film in the offseason, what offensive plays you like in general against them. We'll have a 10-minute, I'll pull it right out of my drawer. I did the game plan in the offseason. Bang, 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 bang. We script 10 plays, and we're ready to go. So we're going to have 10 plays on a Monday to give us a little head start. And that's Monday practice. Okay? Next. Tuesday. On Tuesday, this is where you may see us kind of put the ball in one spot. Because we are practicing first and second down, run offense, inside and outside run, play action passes, and drop back passes. Okay? Just our regular, normal, down and distance plays. That's what's game plan Monday night by the coaches. That's what's explained to the quarterback. It's our regular, normal, run down, drop back, play action, runs. That's what we do on Tuesday. Not much situation football. You got me? Not much. It's going to be dominantly what we're game planning on first and second down. That's pretty easy. Now we're getting into this. Okay. Tuesday night and Wednesday is a little heavy. We never really had this many, but in the NFL we had On these situations, we probably had 10 calls in those down distances. At Syracuse, we ended up with 10, a total of 10 here. A total of 10 calls. Okay, what did that mean? We would game plan, guys, 3rd and 3, I would say a maximum of 3 plays. Let's put it that way. I want on my game plan sheet 3 calls. Again, NFL games, you're struggling to find a 3rd and 3. They don't always come up. You don't want to script too many. That's probably too many. So I would say we can get our number down to 10 by maybe making that 1 or 2. Now, what we believe in on this down is that the quarterback is going to have his hands on the ball. What does that mean? It could be a sprint out pass. It could be a speed option. It could be a load option. It could be a 3-step drop that's going to be deep enough to make the first down. Okay? So we're going to script probably 2 plays there. All right? 3rd down and 4 to 6. Those come up. Those come up. We're going to need every one of those 3. We're going to script 3 of those plays after studying. What are you doing now? You're studying what the opponent's doing on that down. You got your film. You got your computer. You're studying it. What do they show on 3rd down, 4 to 6? What do they do? Well, it looks like on that down, they're going to blitz and play man. Why? They don't want to give me anything easy. They don't want to give me anything easy. So they're going to blitz and play man. So what does that tell you? You better have blitz protection in there, and you better have something to get the ball out quick. Okay, 3rd and 7 to 10. All right, now you got an issue. Because what happens if they blitz 4 from the side? You got to throw hot. Well, now they know you're throwing hot. They blitz the Sam and the Mike. Here comes the safety scrolling down on the hot. They tackle you. You make 5. Everyone's clapping. They run off and punt the ball. Can't have it. You got to be able to block the blitz now. So I'm going to be in a protection that's going to block the blitz. On 3rd down and 4 to 6, the hot will make the first down. That's important to me. 3rd 11 plus, same thing. They may be more conservative. Maybe they're Tampa 2. Maybe they're rushing 3. Who knows? Whatever it is. You game plan what you guys do best at that down and distance. But here's what that's a little deceptive. There's 12 calls up there. At Syracuse, we limited it to 10. 10. Okay? Not 12, 10. Now, when the Dolphins are caught, it's 25. And some of the stuff we didn't practice. The players are just assumed they knew it. I was studying a freaking game plan ball. But in college, we scripted every one of those plays, so we had a good look at it. All right, that's what we did on 3rd down. These are situations you must practice. 3rd and 3 is a hell of a different down than 3rd and 11 plus, guys. You got to treat it as such. All right? All right, next. All right, now we're getting into it, man. Now we're getting into it. On Wednesday, which is Friday in the NFL, we practice red zone. Now, we broke the red zone up into 3 categories. One is fringe. Fringe is from the 30-yard line to the plus 20. 30 to the plus 20 going in. Okay? Why is that different? Here's why. And in the NFL, this is a big deal. It's different because this is the last spot on the field where you can throw a deep ball. You got me? If the ball's on the 30, you can now throw a freaking 40-yard streak. That's what it'll go around the pace, 40 yards minimum. Here's where you would like a flea flipper. Here's where you would like a double move by a wide receiver and or a tight end. I've got a shot here on my film of one of our tight ends on a double move for a touchdown here. So what we're trying to tell you is these are 3 deep ball shots. Dan Henning, the guy that I worked for as the offensive coordinator of the Dolphins, would say all the time, I would rather throw the ball over the top of the defense and go over the red zone rather than try to ground it out every freaking down and end up kicking the freaking field. I don't always agree with that, but he has a point. There's something to that. So he would say, when you get the ball on a plus 30, he would take a shot right now. Me, my mentality would be, I want to see if I can run the ball. But he would say, take a shot. Go over the freaking defense. It's too hard to go all the way in. There's too many. You're going to get close, and it's too congested. So that's a thought. The next part of the red zone that we practiced, now we had 3 fringe plays, what I'm trying to tell you, every week. 3 on your game plan sheet. Then we went to red zone, which was from the 20 to 10, 3 runs, 3 passes. What were the passes? Which I'll show you. I have some on film here, I think. The passes were crossing routes. The passings were delays. The passes were screens. Because you don't have a lot of room here. You're not going to stretch the defense vertically. Okay? So you got to have those kind of concepts. And then in the tight red, here's where you got to make your money. From the 9 to the goal line, you got to have some passes that you can use. The greatest team, the 2 teams in the NFL that are best at this is the Indianapolis Colts and the Patriots. They run this freaking power pass and this hard clean action, and they fake a crack and they run a streak, and the guys are wide ass open. You know what I'm talking about? You ever see that freaking play though? We run that play too. I got a picture of them here, not as effective. But they are just really, really good at it. I'm not, what you run here is not important, but I'm just going to tell you, you're going to need to practice in that zone of the field. What's your call on 3rd and 5 from the 5? You got to score a touchdown. What's your call? Think about your offense. What are you going to call? You're sitting there as head coaches. What are you going to call? So you got to have an idea of what call you're going to make in that situation. I'm going to say it again. You better not be practicing this on the 30-yard line in that big hole of dirt. You're in that hole. That ain't helping you win that freaking game, guys. I want to tell you. Just ain't helping you. Maybe it's making your kids tough, but it ain't helping you in this situation. I promise you. You got to rethink yourself, your practice. How the hell you practice? Now, I have some of these on film as well. How much time do I have here, pal? You know? Oh, you're supposed to know.
20 minutes, Coach.
How much?
20 minutes, Coach.
20 minutes. I need an hour and a half. Right now. All right, here's the biggest. Now, in the NFL, and really in college football too, these freaking media guys are vicious, okay? And here's where they get you. They have these little buzzwords. And the little buzzword they use that'll kill you faster than anything is this coach does not know time management. Now that freaking reporter doesn't know what those words mean. But someone says it. Oh, that was a bad job of time management. Well, now the reporter hears that on TV, and from that point on, this poor son of a gun is always going to say, this son of a gun, he can't manage the clock. Whether it's true or not. So, I'm I'm telling you, in the NFL, this is hypersensitive right here. Not sensitive, hypersensitive. I can't tell you how many times I heard, if we did it this way, we're going to look like idiots. We're going to look like fools. We're going to look like this. We're going to look like that. Hypersensitive. So you better know, all of us better know what this looks like. Okay, now, 2-minute drill. Here's one thing that we have to understand. This is one thing that I learned from a guy named Homer Smith. Homer Smith was a great coach, UCLA, Army, head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs for a while. I want to talk about a couple of minutes here. I want to show you this. I don't even know how this affects high school football with the clock. I don't have a lot of time to do this, but I want to get into this here for a minute. I got a list here that I want to show you. Here it is right here. This right here is a Bible to me. This thing right here. You better understand this. And your quarterback, most importantly, your quarterback better understand this. All right, number one. How long do things take? How long do things take? This is crucial. You've got to know this. Your quarterback has to know this. Okay? The quarterback has to know this. It takes 15 seconds to run a play, get back lined up on the line, and run another play. You got me? Why is that important to know? Because if you have 30 seconds with no timeouts, guys, you're just going to get 2 plays.
Hey, Coach, excuse me, about 10 minutes for dinner?
I hate to interrupt dinner, but maybe more than that.
It's 10 minutes for dinner.
All right, good. Thank you. But anyhow, your guys better know that. You have 15 seconds per play with no timeouts. Okay? It takes 6 seconds to run a play and call timeout. So if you have 1 timeout, you're in great shape. It takes 4 seconds to execute a deep pass that's either complete or out of bounds, incomplete. 7 seconds to execute a deep pass. 7 seconds to execute a play for a first down and start a play after the clock is stopped. Do these rules sound right in high school football, or am I wrong there? I'm wrong? Close? Is it close? Okay. Here's another thing that's crucial. 18 seconds to run the field goal team out there with no timeouts. We practice that every single week. 18 seconds. In other words, if you got 30 seconds to go, and all of a sudden you run a play, and you're trying to get the field goal team on there, if you don't have 18 seconds, you're not going to get the ball. I'm just telling you. So these are some things that you need to know. If you write me a note, I'll send this to you, because I got only 10 minutes here. All right, now. So, different situations. Here's the key to 2-minute drill. Guys, I'm going to say this about 2-minute drill, and you guys probably practice it. All my life, before I met Homer Smith, here's what I did for 2-minute drills, and I was a head coach. Put the ball on -20, told the team, guys, we got 2 minutes, we need a touchdown. Guys, we got 2 minutes, we need a field goal. You know what happened? The freaking defense would blitz every time. We didn't get a playoff, and we never got the thing underway. You know what I mean? That is so frustrating. Okay? What you got to do is you can do that. I like to do that, believe it or not, on offense, on air. Why? Because you get your 2-minute huddle calls just on air. That's all that is. Get your no huddle offense on air. But here's what you got to practice. Ball's on the +40. Need a field goal. No timeouts. 30 seconds. Okay? So what happens now? think about what I just said. You got to figure out where your field goal kick from. Let's say high school maybe it's the 20. So you got to make, what did I say, 40 or 50? 40. So you got to make 20 yards. So you got 2 plays, right? 30 seconds, no timeouts. So you got to be very careful because you got to run the field goal team out. So Coach, I can't tell you, we did this in spring football. We're like in there, it's like freaking you getting calculators out to figure out how many plays you got. It's work. It's work. We practice this. And you got to go. It's great for you as a coach to put yourself in that mindset. Or, here's another thing we did. Ball at a plus 50. No timeouts. 30 seconds to go. Need a touchdown. So now the quarterback's going to say to himself, oh, wait a minute. I got to go 50 yards. I got 2 plays. Guaranteed. I got to average 25 yards per play. You see the difference? Before we had to average 10 yards a play. Now in this situation, he's got to average 25 yards a play. So his thought now changes dramatically to what I've got to call in no huddle. Now, put the ball on the 50. 7 seconds to go. Last play. What are you going to call? Is it the Hail Mary? Is it the Boise State play? Is it a hook and lateral? What is it? You see what I mean? You got to practice this stuff, guys. That's why I'm saying to you, do it in a scrimmage situation in preseason. Do it on air in the summer, whenever you do it. But you've got to practice these situations. All right, number C here. Get it jumped. This is, again, a Bill Parcells story. I must have heard this story 50 times. The Dallas Cowboys are playing the Giants in the Meadowlands. Famous game in Monday Night Football. I think Parcells' first year there. Okay? No timeouts. Cowboys are down by 2 or 1. They got the ball on the 50. The line to kick the field goal was the 30. They line up. I'll show you the play they ran. Because we practice this every freaking week. Here's the play they ran. They ran a 12-yard locked hook, and they ran a corner route over the top of it. They were in cover 2. The inside the third receiver there ran a post, an influence post, to get the safety to bite on him. The corner bit up, and they hit that corner route, running out of field, right out of bounds, boom, on the 30-yard line, 1 second to go, they kicked the field goal in the end. You see what I'm saying? And I remember distinctly, because I remember the game. The players right after the game said, no big deal, we practice it every week. You got me? You understand the confidence there? That's what's got to happen to your players. They also had a concept of getting 5 yards. If you were 5 yards away from the situation. Bobby's getting angry. I'll end with this here. Got a couple of minutes? All right, good. Now, we got to watch a little video. I'll show some of these situations. A couple of things here I want to show you we did on Friday. 2-minute review. Take a safety. No-brainer free. What does that mean? Every Friday, or excuse me, Saturday in the NFL, every Saturday, for 3 years, we went up there. No-brainer freeze meant we went to the line of scrimmage with no play. The linemen closed their eyes. Quarterback came to the line. Blue 18, blue 18. Hey! Try to get him to jump off sides. Now, if you don't practice that, your guys are going to go offside. I promise you. I'm going to promise you. Every freaking week, we practice the long count. Every week. Okay? So we had to practice. All right, now here's another play. This is the play I was talking about when I started. 90 extra last play. Here's what this meant. We practice this play in spring ball. This is what I call an air ball. Listen to this situation. We practiced this for 3 years. We ran it this year against the Jets in the Meadowlands, and it helped us win the game. Listen to this situation. Ball's on about the plus or minus 40. We got the ball. There's 6 seconds to go in the half. Okay? 4th down. We're talking about balls now. Just listen. 4th down. They're going to come out to the punt. Who cares? The last play of the half. Who cares? They're going to block the punt. Our snapper in the Meadowlands, the wind is like 100 miles an hour sideways. The snaps are going back like that. So we call 90 extra last play. What does that mean? We lined up in 2 tight ends in a wing with the backs offset. The quarterback took the ball, went back 5 steps, threw it this 4th down as far as he could. Ball's in the air, clock goes on. So we get out of the half. We end up winning the game. That doesn't sound like much, but look at the consequences. What happened if that punt got blocked? What happens now? Because in the NFL, 7 seconds is like an eternity. They block the punt, call timeout. Can you feel it? You see what I mean? Those are things that you never think of, but they come up. 90 extra last play. The last thing that we did every Friday, but NFL on Saturday, we put the whole team out on the field, and we line up in victory formation. Just line up in victory. Okay? So the kids had confidence that we're going to use this play in the game. That was important. All right, real quick, let's see if we can throw a couple of situations on the field. Just watch a couple of these. We'll go through this fast. Bobby, can you run this fast? Yeah. All right, here we go. Watch this.
We get the remote here.
All right, here's just a couple of shots. I'm going to give you a couple of shots of some of these situations that came up. If you need some of this material, give me a call. Drop me a note. I'll send it to you.
Oh, we got it, Coach.
All right, good. Here we go. Here's just for 2 minutes. Chad Bennington's the quarterback. Same formation. Through double dig there. I'm not talking about passes here, but I'm talking about situations that we practice over and over. 4 wides. We have our tight end in the slot there. Just let it go, folks. And these are just our 2-minute situations.
Same thing?
Yeah, same play. All right, here it is. So we're 4 wides. If we got cover 2, we came over here to the big side, double big. We got a 20-yard in, which you can translate to high school maybe into a 15-yard in. Okay, so again, our 2-minute, we practice every freaking Friday and Saturday. 2 days we practice it with the Dolphins. Okay? We're very, very good at it. Okay, here we go. Just let it go quick. Another situation is what we call ghost tosser. It was a deeper wide stick versus cover 4. If we got quarters or cover 2, we came to the top. If we got cover 1, he came to the double slant side. Okay, again, I'll talk to you more about these routes. I'm just trying to show you that we had a number of plays. And here's just freeze it again. Stop right here. This is the second to last play 3 years ago out of Denver. Pennington hits Ricky Williams here against Maine. That's his read. We got a wheel route out of the backfield. He sees Maine. He throws it. This is something that was rehearsed. He hits it down to the 3. The next play we score and win the game with a goal line play. So this is what I'm talking about, preparation. The guy was confident enough. He saw it was man. He was going right to the guy with a freaking defender in his face because he knew he got man. Okay, right. Let's just go watch this play. Now, this is the second to last play of the game. playing on the road. There's Williams out in the backfield against the linebacker. He makes an unbelievable throw and catch. This is the quarterback right there. It's hit the mouth, ball's completed back shoulder, down to the 3 o'clock he's running. He runs up there, spikes it, and then we score a goal line. Let this go fast, Coach. These are just a bunch of other 2-minute plays. Just let it go. I want to show some of these other looks. Can you go fast, Bob?
Yes.
Okay, good. Just go fast. Just a couple of things that come up here I want to show you. Let it go. Another 2-minute play. All right, again, we had a draw, we had a screen. That doesn't matter. All right, go. Let it go. We had a number of plays you can call no huddle. No problem at all. Let it go, Coach, here again. Fast. That's a run and shoot screen here that we ran. Let it go. We had the zone play from the shotgun combined with bubbles in 2 minutes. Watch this. He doesn't run the zone read. He throws the bubble because he thought it was there. So that's part of our 2 minutes. That's another story. Let it go. Quarterback sneak to stop the clock. Part of your 2 minutes. College football, high school football, this is big. Okay, let it go. That's got to be part of your 2 minutes. Needed 5 yards to get in field goal range. 5 yards to get in field goal range. This ultimately won the game for us. Right here. Jets blitz. We hit an outcut. Win the game. That's practice. We call that quick 52 Oscar. Practiced every week. E5. What play you got in your offense? You get 5 yards. There's Cafe XQ. The same play that Pete played to get you can see what it looks like up top. Go back to the bottom quick. We didn't use this at the end of the game, but I had a shot and I want to throw it up here for you. Watch this up top here. Go ahead. You can see the hook and then the corner over the top of it. You got to get the ball out of bounds. And you got to make 20 yards. So just watch this route here quick. Keep going here. Go one ahead. Fast forward it. This is get 5 right here. We call this get 5. We run a rollover route against press. He makes a great move, sticks him inside, and get the ball thrown outside. Get the ball out of bounds, win the game. Watch the route up top. This is the route that I said that the Giants use against the Cowboys use against the Giants. Look at the corner route. See the corner route up top? We're not. Keep going, Bob. Keep going. I'm going to show you a couple of plays here. Back to the wall. This game, second game of the year against Minnesota on the road. Back to the wall. We win the game 9-3. Watch this. Practice it. 2 tight ends. Protect the edges. 2 tight ends. We practice this play every week. Ball's on a -2. Look at the tight end fan out on the overhang defender. Back to the wall. The ball's not the 20-yard line there, man. In a pile of dirt, digging a hole. You got to move the ball. Short yardage. Short yardage. Inside belly from a near or far set. This has been a tremendous short yardage run for us right there. Okay, just again, keep going. Go on. Here's the next play.